sure we all remember that Black Ops 4 Zombies was a game that was hated more than others. There were many things wrong with the game that led to its eventual downfall. So today we'll be looking back at the 5 main reasons why BO4 Zombies failed. Badly. Let's start at the beginning, and specifically the first few weeks of launch. Initially, Black Ops 4 had a ton of bugs. Blue screens were obviously the biggest one, but the game also had frequent FPS drops and connection interrupted. Now, it can be normal for games to have bugs when they first come out, or servers being slower than usual, but this was taken to the next level. It got to the point where people could barely play zombies in a hunt for the Easter eggs because their games would just crash. But this was only a huge problem in the first few weeks of the game. The Chaos crew might have been a bigger issue. Although Diego, Scarlet, Bruno, and Shaw as a crew weren't a total disaster in my opinion, the biggest problem that people had with them was the timing. Fans were expecting the famous crew that were known and loved, and with it later being confirmed that the Ether storyline was coming to a close at the end of the game, it was a bit weird that a new crew got introduced during the send-off of the old. Another thing that didn't sit well with players was some of the core mechanics of the game. Some specific critiques included the HUD being too cluttered, going away from the classic point system, taking away famous perks such as Juggernog and Double Tap, and having to pack a punch 4 times to get your weapon to not feel like a toy. It feels like most people today try to credit BO4 for attempting to innovate zombies, but unfortunately the changes were just badly executed at the time. However, one criticism that I think doesn't get talked about a lot is BO4 was the game following the greatest zombies game ever, which is Black Ops 3. Sure, there were other zombies games in between BO3 and 4, such as Infinite Warfare and COD World War II Zombies, but BO4 was the next Treyarch Zombies, the big brother to all the other zombies developers, and people just had their expectations really high, and rightfully so. I compared it to doing a talent show, and the dude before you just did a magic trick where he made the principal like disappear or something, and then you go up after and the jokes you tell just bomb and nobody laughs. You were just destined to fail, kind of like how Black Ops 4 was. And then maybe the saddest part, at the end of the game's life cycle, Treyarch didn't even give the fans normal cutscenes to end out the Ether story. For the final 2 maps, it was stop motion pictures. The lack of funding and time being put into the game began to show. For some people, this was 10 years of seeing the famous characters, and it would have been nice to have animated cutscenes to send them off. Black Ops 4 Zombies wasn't perfect, but it definitely wasn't the worst zombies we've ever gotten. I would even argue that if you took some of the BO4 maps and put them in the BO3 engine, then they're instantly better experiences. But the crashes in the beginning, the core mechanics not being the greatest, and Treyarch's lack of effort towards the end proved to be too much to overcome, and thus sadly created a failed zombies experience. If you don't click this video, every zombies game will crash for you except for BO4. Do you want that to happen? Okay, bye.